Good morning, everyone. This is Wild Wishers TV. Let's find out and study the adorable and exotic animals with unique whiskers living in the earth. And at the end, I have a question for you to answer, and you might be one of the lucky ones to win this channel's annual raffle promo. Let's go. The African wildcat, Felis silvestris libica, is a small wild cat native to Africa. It is a subspecies of the wildcat, Felis silvestris, and is closely related to the domestic cat, Felis silvestris catus. The African wildcat is found throughout Africa, with the exception of the Sahara Desert and the equatorial forests of Central and West Africa. The African wildcat has a sandy-colored coat with black stripes and spots, which provides excellent camouflage in its natural habitat. It is a nocturnal hunter that preys on small mammals, birds, reptiles, and insects. African wildcats are also known for their ability to survive in arid environments, as they are able to obtain most of their water from their prey. African wildcats are solitary animals and are mostly active at night. They are territorial and will defend their home ranges against intruders. African wildcats breed throughout the year and can produce 2 to 4 kittens per litter. These kittens are born blind and helpless and are dependent on their mother for several months. The African wildcat is considered a least concern species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, meaning that it is not currently at risk of extinction. However, habitat loss and hunting pose threats to the species in certain areas, and conservation efforts are underway to protect African wildcat populations. African wildcats reproduce sexually, with males and females mating to produce offspring. The breeding season for African wildcats can vary depending on the region, but generally occurs throughout the year. Females typically give birth to litters of 2 to 4 kittens after a gestation period of about 63 days. The kittens are born blind and helpless and rely on their mother for food and protection until they are about 8 weeks old. After this time, they will start to accompany their mother on hunts and learn important survival skills. African wildcats in the wild typically live for 5 to 8 years, although some individuals have been known to live up to 12 years. In captivity, they can live for up to 15 years. The lifespan of an African wildcat can be influenced by various factors such as habitat, food availability, predation, and disease. Female African wildcats generally live longer than males, as they are not subject to the same level of stress and risk of injury associated with territorial disputes and mating competition. Some characteristics of the African wildcat include size. African wildcats are small to medium-sized cats, weighing between 2 to 9 kilograms, 4.4 to 20 pounds. They have a head-body length of 45 to 75 centimeters, 17.7 to 29.5 inches, and a tail length of 20 to 30 centimeters, 7.9 to 11.8 inches. Appearance. African wildcats have a sandy-colored coat with black stripes and spots, which provides excellent camouflage in their natural habitat. They have short, rounded ears and a long tail with a black tip. Habitat. African wildcats are found in a variety of habitats, including grasslands, savannas, scrublands, and deserts. They are well adapted to arid environments and can survive without access to water for long periods of time. Behavior. African wildcats are primarily nocturnal and are solitary animals. They are territorial and will defend their home range against intruders. They are also agile hunters and prey on small mammals, birds, reptiles, and insects. Communication. African wildcats communicate through scent marking, vocalizations, and body language. They use their urine and feces to mark their territory and communicate with other cats. They also make a variety of sounds, including hisses, growls, and meows. Conservation. While African wildcats are not currently considered threatened, habitat loss and hunting pose threats to their populations in certain areas. Conservation efforts are underway to protect African wildcat populations and their habitats. As with all species, African wildcats play an important role in their ecosystem. They are an integral part of the food chain and help to control populations of prey species. As predators, African wildcats help to keep populations of rodents and other small mammals in check, which can help to reduce damage to crops and other vegetation. African wildcats also have cultural and economic value for human societies. They are revered in many African cultures and are important subjects in art, music, and folklore. In some areas, African wildcats are hunted for their fur or as a source of food. In addition, African wildcats are a source of genetic diversity for domestic cats. They are considered to be the closest wild ancestor of the domestic cat, and their genes are still present in modern domestic cat populations. The study of African wildcats and their genetic history can provide insight into the evolution and domestication of cats. Overall, African wildcats play an important ecological, cultural, and genetic role on Earth. It is important to protect and conserve their populations and habitats for the benefit of future generations. My question: African wildcat, Felis silvestris libica, is a small wild cat native in? Comment your answer with your name. And please share, consider subscribe and click the bell icon. Your simple viewing, sharing and subscribing is big help to self-supporting student in the Philippines that we help. Thank you.